and welcome to Bikini Design Club.
So today we will be sewing our bikini bottom pattern Jen. I have here the front, which I have already cut it 2 layers of fabric because this is a reversible. I use the fold line, and for the back I use the fold line to cut the 2 pieces of fabric for my back with the center back seam over here. Now I told you on the intro video that I'm going to show you how to assemble and how to sew your bikini bottom pattern Jen, but I'm also going to let you know how you can make a band for your belly if you're pregnant. I actually made a cut here and here so that this would be connected to my bottom, but then I realized that it's much better option if you don't connect it, because then you will be able to have a bikini bottom for later on when the baby is born, and you can just keep your band for your next baby. So I will do this separately, but I will also do on this tutorial about the bands. I will let you know how to do the band, and I will show you the final result. So instead of doing the front and the back cuts here, I'm gonna cut straight here, because we are not going to connect our bands to our bikini bottom. We are going to do an independent band that can fit many of your bikinis. As I told you, this has a lower front, so it's perfect to match with the band. The band measures 49 centimeters. And then the width is, of course, the width of your belly, a little bit stretched. Pull over your body and feel how much you need for your measurements, okay? So I made this measurement for a not so big belly, but if you are very, very pregnant and you want to have more, you just add on the fold here on this length. So the greater stretch is horizontal, so you just add the measurement according to your own belly, okay? The height that I've just told you, it's because we can do this with a ruching on the sides, okay? We can do this just plain, and then when we put this on, we can fold and use with a fold. So we have many options for the band. So to start, we have our bands, and we are just going to go ahead, fold it in half horizontally, and so this will be around your belly, and we will sew over here without elastic. The band will not have elastic, so the only stretch here is the stretch from your fabric. So we will just sew here the bands for now. Then for our bikini bottom pattern Jen, this is very, very simple. Place right sides facing together of your fabrics. Despite this is black, I always tend to let you know that I always choose the right side of my plain fabrics. I always have a side that is my main side, and what I'm doing here is I'm placing my pins on the side of my main fabric, which is this one, and with my right side facing my other right side. So right sides facing together. And we are going to pin on the leg hole here, on the top on our waist, and we are going to sew with the overlock, applying elastic. For the back, we need to start by sewing our center back seam. So just grab your fabrics right sides together, and this is important. So if you have questions on where is your center back seam, just match the pattern pieces with your fabric, and then once you have pinned, to make sure, because these are very similar sides, so if you are not sure if you have pinned the right sides that you are supposed to pin, just make like so, so you can check that you are sewing the correct spot, okay? And let's go ahead to our sewing machine and sew our center back seams, our front, and our band. We have here our bands with our seam. We have here our back with our center back seams ready. And we have here our front with the elastic applied. Now the next step, and I'm not going to, in this tutorial, at least the bottoms, I'm not going to film myself sewing because I think I've done it so many times and you have so many tutorials where I show how to apply the elastic and etc. that I really don't think you gain anything with me placing images of me sewing. So here we have our back, our front, and our bands. So to finish our bottoms, it's very, very simple. We just reverse them to the wrong sides. We will pin the top here and we will sew. And this is the next step, so just go to your sewing machine and sew the top here. Don't forget that if you want your seams to match perfectly, you can go ahead and do a hand stitch to make sure that they stay exactly where you want them to stay, so matching each other. I'm just going to pin because I can do this without sewing by hand. So go ahead and sew this area. So you can see that I've sewn the back with the elastic over here, but you can also see that I've done a zigzag with a black thread, and this is just because my overlock threads are white, and once this is reversed I don't want to see any white threads on the other side, so I just go ahead and did a zigzag to make sure that no white threads are seen on the other side. But you can see more about this if you want on our swimsuit pattern tutorial called Epic, where I really talk about it and I show you me doing it. If you want, you have it there. Now we will have to open the center back seam of our bottoms so that we can reverse the bottom to the right side. And I will open a small hole on the lower part of my bottom, not on the main side because the elastic is the side of my main side of the fabric, but on the reversed sides. And I will open a small hole here to reverse this. But before I do that, I don't need to do that right away. I will, when I attach the straps, I will also reinforce the two sides of the holes so that my overlock threads are secure when I open the hole. And that's also something that I always do on reversibles. I reinforce the place near where I'm going to open the hole. So with your back with the right side facing inside, you reverse your front to the right side, and we will insert the front inside our back and align the sides and the crotch area. Don't forget to place the main side of your front matching the main sides of your back. In this case, the main side of my back is this fabric on top, so I will see my main side, it's this one, so I'm going to insert the bikini bottom inside here, align the side strap, so I'm sure it's not twisted. I go with my hands here and I'm going to do like so, and the same on this side, and then the same on the crotch. I will pin everything and I will go to my straight stitch machine and I will secure these three areas. And don't forget to secure the hole also on the sides of the hole. Just going to place a pin just for now.
And then when you secure all the three spots, don't forget that you really want to align the 4 layers of fabric. But if you have cutted the pattern just like it's mentioned, it will fit perfectly and you will be able to connect the pieces without any bumps once it's on the right side. I usually just place 3 or 4 pins on each side. I align the 4 layers of fabric and that's it. You don't need to go to your straight stitch machine and do a basting stitch for this. You just need to practice a little bit and I'm sure you'll nail it.
The trick here is if you want the straps on the side, the connection between the front and the back to be soft and smooth, the trick is for you to really open this snake print and tuck in your back very well against the seam, and then making sure it stays exactly where you want it to be, so very tucked in to the front, to the back. You place the pin, and then you do the same here. You place this exactly where you want. In this case we have the inflection here of the fold. We grab the fabric, and I'm always grabbing the fabric. I pressure with my fingers so it doesn't leave the place where I want, and then I place a pin. And then of course you just need to tuck in the 4 layers, and if you cut it the pattern properly, they will all be aligned, and it will be very easy to pin the 4 layers. Never mind sewing before 2 layers and then insert them here and then sew again. I don't think you need that. You just need to practice sewing over the 4 layers of fabric, and I'm sure that you will be perfect at it. So don't go ahead and sew 2 layers and then with a straight stitch, and then the stitch will break and you will forget breaking the stitch and you will hear it breaking. So never mind that. Just go over now, and we will do a zigzag stitch securing here, here, and here. And don't forget a little bit here on the 2 sides of the hole. Bottom is almost ready. We just need to cut the excess fabric that we have here. Don't forget not to cut your threads that you have just sewn. Cut the excess fabric only. I also cut threads that you don't need. And also here I did a zigzag. I went twice on my sewing machine, and I reinforced the 2 sides of the hole that I'm now going to open with a seam ripper. Now we just need to reverse the swimsuit to the right side using the hole, and then close the hole with the invisible stitch, and our bikini bottom will be done. And we will go now over to our pregnancy band to complete the additional piece that we suggest you using with this bikini bottom. So if you are pregnant, let's go ahead and do an additional band for you to add to this bikini bottom. We have already sewn the center seam, and we have here, this is a small band. It's not for if you are pregnant for 30 weeks. Probably it's not big enough for you, but it will depend on your belly. So I made this small one because I don't have any model to test this, so to demonstrate you. So I did this on a small size. So I just folded it in half, because you know that if you've seen the video from the beginning, you know that the band was big like so. So we just need to fold it in half. We go to our overlock. We sew the entire the entire 2 layers of fabric here. And once this is done, you just need to fold it inside and do a top stitch. This will be the top part, and this will be the lower part that will be near your waist area, below the waist, of course. But instead of just doing that, I'm going to add a little bit of ruching on the sides. So what I will do is I will find my back. The back will be the center seam. I will find the middle and the sides. So imagine that these were my sides. This means that I want to do a ruching effect here. I will leave a little bit without the ruching, and then I will do ruching on the top part. And I will do that by pulling an elastic on the inside with a zigzag stitch and doing the ruching. But I will show you in detail how to do that. So let's go ahead and prepare our band for the ruching. So the ads for our bikini bottom pattern gen is the band for your belly if you are pregnant. So this is our center back seam, and our fabric is right sides facing together. And this will be folded, so we just need to find the middle here, mark it with a pin so you know where it is, unfold it again, and we will do a ruching on the folded area and a little bit lower, not the part that is very near our waist, below the waist, but our waist. That will be the edges here. So we will apply ruching more or less in this area. So if I want to be very exact, I can measure and I can say, okay, 16 centimeters for each side. So I'm going to do it here, and this will mean that your seams will not be in touch with your body, which is very important when you are pregnant, because probably you are swollen. I don't know if that's the correct way to say it in English, but at least for me, I was so huge. All my vessels doubled, as you know, and then I also had liquid retention. And so I look like a turtle or an elephant or whatever big animal you can remember. But well, so now we apply the elastic with a zigzag stitch with the ruching here and here. But to do so and to be able to reverse this and fold it, when we go to our sewing machine, we will have to apply here on the fold. We will have to apply our elastic only with one layer of fabric on the machine. So we will just open this, we will have our machine under here, and we will apply the elastic from here to here, pulling, giving some tension to create the ruching effect. And we do the same on the other side. To make sure on your sewing machine that you have a straight line, at least for me, the best way is to really mark it here, mark the line. So I'm gonna do, this is washable, so no problem, and I will just mark the line that I want to follow, and it's much easier if I do this. So I've just overlocked the lower part of our band, and the fold will be on top of your belly. I didn't apply elastic, as I told you, because we don't want any elastics on the band giving you discomfort. And now just fold over the fabric, do the top stitch or the cover stitch or whatever stitch you like, and your band will be ready for you. I hope you enjoyed our video. Don't forget to see the final pictures just after I finish talking, and subscribe our YouTube channel. See you soon, guys. Bye. So you can see here already on my doll how it is. Of course, I don't have a belly to simulate this, but you can see that we have room here for the belly. I tried to place some fabrics inside here, but of course it's not the same. But we are on lockdown and I'm not able to find any pregnant friend to show you, but I will try that in the future. I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you soon. Bye. And here are the final results. Of course, I promise when I have a model, a real model, pregnant, I will share new pictures. Bye.